Have you ever stopped to think that overly funny characters often hide unbelievable secrets? Now imagine this in the world of monsters, a place where vampires, werewolves, and zombies coexist peacefully at the Hotel Transylvania, and no one seems to care much about each other's past. Among so many supernatural guests, there is one character who seems out of place, as if hiding something much bigger than he appears to be. I'm talking about Murray, the clumsiest and most party-loving mummy in the hotel. On the surface, Murray is the perfect comic relief, a joker, high-spirited, and passionate about parties. But what if this exaggerated personality was just a facade? What if Murray wasn't just an ancient and funny mummy, but something much more powerful and legendary? This is where the theory comes in. Murray could be Anubis himself, the Egyptian god of death in disguise. That's right, the guardian of the underworld, the one who watched over the fate of souls, may have fled his responsibilities and found the perfect hiding place at Hotel Transylvania. Now that we've planted the seed of doubt about Murray's true identity, it's time to take a closer look at the evidence suggesting he might be much more than just an animated mummy. Let's look beyond his contagious humor and silly jokes and pay attention to the hidden details, those that are right in front of us but often go unnoticed. First, think about Murray's powers. Since his first appearance in Hotel Transylvania, he has demonstrated an impressive ability, controlling sand with supernatural ease. We're not just talking about something decorative, like the sand falling from an ordinary mummy. Murray can summon giant sandstorms, destructive whirlwinds, and even use sand as a form of transportation. The way he manipulates this element makes it seem like he controls the very essence of the desert, as if the sand is an extension of himself. This level of power surpasses any idea of a mummy trick and resembles something divine, like the power of an Egyptian god carrying the desert with him. And if we go back to ancient Egypt, who was the figure most associated with the desert and eternity? Anubis. As the god of death and protector of tombs, he was directly connected to the vast sands of the desert, where mummies were buried. Sandstorms, in Egyptian mythology, were seen almost as manifestations of divine powers, a way to protect or punish. Murray, with his absolute control, carries that same power, albeit disguised in a comedic way. Beyond the powers, there's something curious about Murray's presence. He's a cheerful and festive character, but behind the humor, there's a certain ancient aura that no one can ignore. He is respected by the other monsters, as if there is something about him that inspires silent reverence. Dracula, Frankenstein, and the others treat Murray as an old friend, but they never question his origins or his true power. They feel, even if unconsciously, that he is more than he appears to be. This lack of questioning could be a subtle clue that Murray's presence is more significant than the movie lets on. Now also notice Murray's eyes. At specific moments, like when he uses his powers, his eyes glow supernaturally. It's a small but important detail. That glow is reminiscent of ancient depictions of Egyptian deities, like Anubis, whose eyes were often portrayed with an intense shine, symbolizing wisdom, power, and their connection to the underworld. Murray's eyes seem to carry that same essence, as if he is holding an ancient secret, a power he tries to hide beneath his bandages and laughter. Speaking of bandages, there's something ironic and symbolic about it. If Murray is truly Anubis, a god who watched over souls and tombs, the fact that he assumed the form of a mummy is almost a cosmic joke. It's as if he decided to disguise himself using the most obvious symbol of his own culture, a constant reminder of who he really is but which goes unnoticed by everyone around him. Perhaps it's his way of laughing at fate, or maybe it's just a clever metaphor created by the movie's creators. Murray doesn't talk much about the past. He makes a point of living in the present, always focused on fun and what's happening around him. But this silence about his origins may be another clue. He avoids details because, perhaps, revealing who he really is could expose his secret. The fact that he is Anubis in disguise, fleeing his duties as the guardian of the underworld and enjoying life among monsters. Therefore, the evidence is all there, hidden beneath the jokes and exaggerated charisma. Murray controls sand like a god, carries an aura of respect and power that no one questions, and has visual details such as glowing eyes that directly reference Anubis. He is a fun character, yes, but there's something much bigger behind this facade. Now that we've explored the clues connecting Murray to Anubis, from his powers over sand to the aura of respect and mystery, it's time to understand why. Why would such a powerful Egyptian god like Anubis decide to abandon his responsibilities and hide at Hotel Transylvania? The answer might be more interesting than it seems. Imagine Anubis's life. For millennia, he was the guardian of the underworld, responsible for weighing the hearts of souls and deciding their fate. It was he who chose whether a soul deserved eternity or oblivion, a serious, exhausting, and endless task. For humans, he was feared and respected. But being a god of death can't be easy, and at some point, even a deity might ask, "What if I just quit?" Anubis might have gotten tired. The weight of eternity, the responsibility of judging the dead and protecting tombs, may have been too much even for him. Perhaps he looked at the empty desert around him and thought it was time to live a second life, one not defined by rituals, duties, and loneliness. He would need, then, a place where he could hide without drawing attention, where his ancient and powerful presence could blend in among other equally supernatural creatures. Hotel Transylvania is the perfect refuge. Created by Dracula as a sanctuary for monsters, the hotel has become a place where beings from all cultures and mythologies can live in peace, away from human eyes. A god disguised as a mummy would be easily accepted there. No one would suspect or ask too many questions. Who would care about yet another Egyptian mummy in a hotel full of vampires, werewolves, and zombies? Murray then emerges as the perfect alter ego for Anubis. He decides to reinvent himself as a fun, funny, party-loving mummy, someone who would never be associated with the stern and feared god of ancient Egypt. Murray's exaggerated behavior might be a distraction. While everyone laughs at his clumsy dances and jokes, no one pays attention to his impressive abilities or the ancient aura he carries. It's a perfect facade, built with humor and charisma. However, as happy as Murray seems with his new life, there are small moments where we can see something more. When he summons his sandstorms, for example, there's a glow in his eyes, as if, for a second, he remembers who he really is. It's as if Anubis's power is still there, dormant, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Perhaps deep down, Murray knows he can't run forever. Additionally, the fact that Murray is so respected by the other monsters might be an unconscious reflection of his true identity. Even if no one knows he is Anubis, there's something about him that commands a certain reverence. Dracula, Frankenstein, and the others treat Murray as an equal but never try to challenge his abilities or question his origins. It's as if everyone feels that, behind the friendly smile, there's someone much older and more powerful than he appears. Hotel Transylvania, therefore, isn't just a refuge for monsters but a perfect hiding place for a god tired of his responsibilities. Anubis chose this place because he knew he could be Murray, the party-loving mummy, without anyone suspecting his true nature. He could dance, laugh, and live like an ordinary monster, far from the tombs, rituals, and lost souls he left behind. But can this escape last forever? Will Anubis eventually be forced to reveal his true identity and resume his role as the guardian of the underworld? Or has Murray finally found the freedom he's been searching for? If Murray really is Anubis, the Egyptian god of death in disguise, this not only transforms the character, but also adds new layers to the Hotel Transylvania universe. A simple hotel for monsters stops being just a refuge for vampires, werewolves, and mummies and becomes something much bigger. A hiding place for ancient deities and mythological creatures who decided to abandon their origins to live a common life among monsters. Think about the impact of this. If Anubis managed to disguise himself as Murray, who else might be hiding their true identity? Perhaps other gods or legendary beings are living at Hotel Transylvania, disguised as ordinary monsters. Can you imagine if Wayne the werewolf, with his pack of uncontrollable children, was a modern version of Fenrir, the giant wolf from Norse mythology? Or if some unknown guest was, in fact, Hades, the Greek god of the underworld, trying to maintain a quiet life away from Olympus? The hotel, then, wouldn't just be a sanctuary for monsters but a meeting point for mythological figures tired of their ancestral responsibilities. Murray's case is a perfect example of this. For millennia, Anubis was worshipped, feared, and respected as the guardian of souls in the afterlife. But at some point he chose anonymity, laughter, and relaxation. It's almost poetic. A god of death who decides to live as a party-loving mummy, using humor and joy as a way to free himself from the weight of eternity. This brings new depth to the character, who becomes much more than just comic relief. Furthermore, Anubis's presence at Hotel Transylvania could explain the silent respect everyone has for Murray. Even without consciously knowing who he is, the other monsters seem to sense his grandeur. They treat him as an equal but never question his abilities or his past. It's as if Anubis's ancient and powerful energy is still there, invisible but impossible to ignore. This theory also adds a touch of mystery to the universe of the movies. Why does Hotel Transylvania attract so many powerful creatures? Does the hotel itself possess a supernatural energy that acts as a magnet for beings like Anubis? Or does Dracula, the hotel's founder, know more than he lets on? Perhaps he created the hotel as a refuge not only for monsters but also for forgotten gods and creatures, offering them a chance to live in peace, away from the eyes of the human world. Finally, the idea of Murray being Anubis brings an interesting reflection about identity and reinvention. Even being an ancient and powerful god, Anubis chose a new life, a new personality, and a new purpose. He proves that even the grandest beings can change, escape their imposed roles, and seek something different. Murray may be funny and clumsy, but he represents the freedom to be something beyond what others expect. If this theory is true, Hotel Transylvania gains a new dimension. It's no longer just a comedy about monsters but a story about rediscovery, about legendary figures who find in anonymity a chance to start over. And Murray, with his jokes and dances, becomes the perfect symbol of this transformation. Now the big question is, can Murray keep his secret forever? Or will the dormant god beneath the bandages be forced to return to his true role? Meanwhile, he's still there, dancing and laughing at Hotel Transylvania, as if nothing ever happened. And what about you? Do you think Murray really carries the essence of Anubis? Or is this just another fun theory? If he really is the Egyptian god of death, what other secrets could be hidden in this monster-filled hotel? Let's keep our eyes open because in the world of animation, nothing is what it seems. If you enjoyed this theory and were surprised by Murray's possible secret, don't forget to like the video. That helps the channel grow and brings more incredible theories like this one. Now, how about diving deeper into the world of animations? Watch the next video appearing on the screen. I guarantee you'll be even more surprised.